Christ returns, speaks his truth. The Christ Articles, article number 2. Create wonderful lives. Create beautiful lives and wonderful sex. Christ said, I have come again to talk, colloquially, about your lives and the way you approach your daily living. You get up in the morning and have absolutely no idea of what really lies ahead. You plunge into your routine and speak sentences and say words without a second thought of their likely impact on your environment, or of what they may do to your listeners, or what you are laying up for yourselves in the future. You believe you are in control of your life, but in fact you are all acting heedlessly and in total ignorance of what, minute by minute, you are creating for yourselves. Just as importantly, you carry around an emotional burden which no amount of interesting events or exciting experiences can wipe from your heart and consciousness. Everywhere you go, the emotional burden lowers your conscious vibration and moves down into your nervous system and then into your physical cells, reducing the life force in them and their mode of functioning, including their efficiency and self-repair. When you encounter opposition, your human ego stands up bristling in self-defense. Your ego's job as custodian of your individuality is to ensure your survival. Therefore, it springs to your defense, and you feel that opposition in safe form is intolerable and not to be borne. As a result, you find your minds and emotions becoming agitated, resentful, and heated, and you want to hit back to make the opposition go away, whether it is justified or not. This is something that people must understand about the ego. It is absolutely lacking in insight, objectivity, or spontaneous sense of justice. When you are controlled by the ego impulses, the consciousness vibrations you are now emitting are so off balance, so devoid of any good sense, that they adversely affect the people around you and create consciousness blueprints of so much disharmony that they begin to affect your future experiences, activities, and situations. It is vitally important to your future welfare and lives that you wake up to the fact that you are not victims of your circumstance and experiences in your lives, but the creator of them. For instance, if during the day you create a rumpus or argument with workmates or boss, when you return home from your work to your nearest and dearest in the evening, you may still be controlled by your resentful ego. If so, you no longer speak from the quietness of the truth or from any spiritual values you may possess, for these will now be discolored and distorted by the runaway emotions you created for yourself at work earlier in the day. Equally, in the morning you may emerge from your home, which should be a place where your spirit is renewed and your heart uplifted in warmth. But you walk through your front door swathed with the disquiet of early morning grumpy reactions to and from your partner. Perhaps you had a row with your partner over one grievance or another and tried to heal it with sex, only to find that while the sex seemed to bring you emotionally closer again, it did not really satisfy, and it did not heal the resentment. You must understand that when you have unprotected sex, you exchange not only your body fluids, but also your consciousness. Many people's consciousness is constantly so reactive, even hostile towards mankind and life generally, that it not only reduces the physical health of the individual, but also adversely affects the partner's physical and emotional well-being. When, after a hurtful row, you have sex to make up the quarrel, you are then also infused with the consciousness of your partner's bad feeling. All unknowingly, you take those to work with you as well as your own. I am explaining to you exactly how your earthly world, which you call solid, but is really consciousness energy, is fashioned out of bad temper consciousness forms, or those of love and good humor, affecting your health and performance in life for good or ill. Whatever kind of consciousness you are creating, you leave your energy imprint on everything you encounter, including your car, your computer, and anything else you may be using today. Now, how can this be, you will probably ask? Because the entire universe, with all its galaxies, is only consciousness, love intelligence in its highest form, working through the interactions of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is really the stuff of human mind power and emotional impulses, as they are seen within the field of earthly life. Read letters 5 and 6 until you fully understand that nothing is solid. All you see, feel, touch are really consciousness impulses, made visible through the interplay of electromagnetism. When you have fully understood this and have seen the true place you occupy in creating good health or non-health, happiness or non-happiness, for yourself and other people, You may then be persuaded that the only sensible way forward is to walk Christ's way, the way of unconditional love. How can you begin to change your normal thought patterns and master your unruly emotions? You can do it by exercising willpower. But when you rely on your willpower, you are leaning on the same ego consciousness that causes you to lose your sense of emotional balance. This is like using trash to wipe away a mess of trash. Or you can learn to control your ego by seeking to know and make contact with the source of your being, which I term the Father. Read letters 7 and 8. You are not alone. With consistent prayer and meditation, eventually you'll make contact with that which will prove to be your greatest source of good and comfort in the world. No doubt many people will be writing in as to whether Christ approves of or condemns condoms. Christ's vibrant answer to this is, no new creative ideas ever come from the human brain cells. People who invent and create something new receive the new idea from the universal. Whatever comes from the universal can be used to benefit creation. The creation of the condom was one of the most loving and wonderful gifts and blessings to appear on earth, both outside and within the bonds of marriage. It has brought relief to women sorely burdened by the demands of men. It has been the means of sparing unwanted children the misery of an unloved existence. Countless children may have been born into poverty and died early death. With the arrival of AIDS, the condom is certainly a means of protecting a partner. But it must be understood there are facets of existence where morality should be exercised. Letter 9 is very clear on what is true sexual morality, true spiritual and blessed sex, which the Church knows nothing about. End of article.